Hello, and welcome to my channel. My name is Kat. I am the Nurse Flipper. If this is your first time here, welcome. Thank you so much for joining me. I am going to show you guys over 20 items that sold for over $50. These items in total were over $3,000 in sales, and these are items that will get you to a six-figure income in reselling. I myself sold over $140,000 on eBay and other various platforms, and close to 100,000 of that was in eBay last year. So I'm going to show you these items, and I'm going to talk a little bit about how I got to that 100,000 plus mark and things that you should do to get yourself there. So let's get started. All right, guys, so this is a total of 24 items. They sold for $3,039.37. These are all within the last 3 weeks on my own personal eBay store, which is linked below if you would like to go down and look for yourself at items I have listed, as well as those I've sold. I do not hide anything as far as my eBay business, and I'm happy to share with you and have you look. So these items, there is an average sales price of $126.64, which is a dream for any reseller. However, I will tell you, this is only about 20% of my sales. I have in total in the last 90 days sold $30,187 with a $36.67 average sales price, which is pretty decent. I'm trying to get that $50 mark, and I'm getting closer because I was at about $25 about a year ago. Now I'm at $36.67, and I think a lot of it is because I am adding in these higher sales that we are getting ready to go over. So first up are some really pretty Gray's Pottery teacups. This was a pair of teacups. I actually picked these up at a garage sale for $1 each. These sold for $29.99 plus shipping. The buyer was $50.39 all in. And to tell you guys now at the beginning, the shipping you see up on the screen is if that item shipped to me. However, the buyers paid more. And I do show you items that include shipping for $50 or more because some of you might have a free shipping business model. So these two little cups were just really dainty, really pretty. They didn't sell for much by themselves. That is why I paired them up. And that is one thing you can do to get your average sales price up. I don't recommend doing like whole dish sets or anything because I think the shipping on that would be a nightmare. But if you have two cups and they sell for $15 each, put them together for $30 plus shipping, and then you've got a $50 sale. Next, and these are only a $50 sale because they went international. So selling international is definitely a way to increase your sales and your income over on eBay. These shorts sold for $30 plus $20 international shipping, so they were right at $50 in. They did take about 6 months to sell, and I only had 50 cents into these, and I got them in an online auction lot in a tote of golf clothes, and golf clothes can sell pretty well. Some brands, of course, are going to sell higher than others, but from what I've seen, they do sell pretty consistently. These took that 6 months. However, a lot of our golf clothes have been moving very well in the last couple of months. Next, and this is another one that actually went international. This is an avocado green fondue pot. I did pick this up at a local thrift store. I only paid $2 for it. It sold in less than a week, and it sold for $27.49. The buyer was $54.49 all in. So on this one, I did use standard international shipping. And for items that are under $50, that is typically what I will do because that makes your shipping costs for your buyer a lot less. If you use global shipping program, they are charged a lot of extra fees. And on low cost items, I don't feel that that makes sense. You do have a little more liability when you ship standard international. You can file claims, but on eBay, it is actually a third-party shipper, and you have to fill out a big claims form. It's a pain in the butt. I had one, and I actually decided not to do it because that claim form was just too cumbersome for me, and I just let that item go as a loss. But I've only had, I think, 3 in the last year and a half or so that I've had issues with shipping internationally, either through the global shipping program or doing eBay Standard International. Up next is a Victoria's Secret purse, and a lot of these sell high. You can find some of these that will sell for $100 plus if they are well sought after. This one did take about 8 months to sell. It sold for $38.49 plus shipping. The buyer was $54.53 all in. This one was new, and I did get this from an online auction in a lot of new Victoria's Secret bags. I am thinking maybe somebody got these as gifts and then they just kept the bags. I think Victoria's Secret did, where if you buy so much, then you get a free gift bag. This one still had tags that said $68, but it sold for the $38, and it was over a $30 profit for me. I did pay about $5 per bag in that lot of new Victoria's Secret bags on an auction. Up next is actually a viewer sale. This scarf went out to River Hills Vintage. I did find some comps of similar scarves like this going for $50 or more. This is a Bill Blast scarf. It had like a hound, it had a golden retriever, very big bold print, and it sold for $46.74 plus shipping. She was $55.14 all in, so that was over a $40 profit for me. And I do want to say thank you again to River Hills Vintage for your purchase. I also at this time would like to say thank you so much to Connie. Connie bought me a coffee, so that is greatly appreciated. If you guys are not familiar with Buy Me a Coffee, it is kind of a little tip service for your content creators, and they actually only take, I think, 5 or 10%, where YouTube takes 30 to 40%. So Connie, thank you so much for buying me a coffee. It is greatly appreciated. Up next, this is a James Sadler teapot. Had kind of an all over roses print. A lot of teacups and teapots can go for hundreds into the thousands of dollars. This one was not one of the higher. It did go international. It sold for $25 plus shipping. The buyer was $58 all in. So you'll see with a lot of these, like the $20, $25 range, a lot of mine have went international via Standard International shipping. So I think that that is one of the ways to increase your income and kind of push you towards that 6-figure income. Also want to say at this point, because I do get this comment in most of my high what solds, these numbers that I am giving you are gross numbers. They are not profit. I typically run about a 50% profit margin. So last year in 2020, over all of our selling platforms, which includes eBay, Facebook Marketplace, Mercari, Poshmark, and I also do some direct sales on my big cartel store, we had over $140,000 in sales. So that would be about $70,000 in profit, which would be typically a pretty good income, I think, for most people. In order to get to the 6-figure income, what I have done over the last 2.5 years now is reinvest everything. So you see my shed behind me. There is tons of inventory that is not listed back there. And you can also see over on this side, there are some Ethan Allen pieces that I did pay up for. There are also some back there behind Betty Boop that are listed. So for the last 2.5 years, I have not paid myself much. I think last year I only paid myself about $4,000 or $5,000. And what I have done is reinvest it. So one of the biggest things to getting to that 6-figure income is that you have to build up to that. And if you don't have a lot of money to start off, that can be a very difficult thing. I only started off probably about $2,000. So not really a lot, not a small amount. You can for sure start smaller, but the big key is to only pull what you need and just keep reinvesting and building that business up if your goal is to get to that 100,000 plus mark in sales. Next, this is a McCoy pitcher. This one actually had some damage. Picked this up for $5. Actually, my friend Pepper picked it up for me at a garage sale. She saw it. She knows I love pottery. She shot me a picture of it. I told her, yes, I wanted it. It sold for $32.99 plus shipping. The buyer's $59.48 all in. So a little over a $22 profit next. And when I picked these two up, I really did not know they were going to be as valuable as they were. And I will tell you that is one of the most important things when you're pricing your items. Do research. I do not over research. I think that can really slow your listing down. But like these are Dale Clee. They are little 4x6s. So, you know, they're tiny. And the buyer bought two of them. They sold for $25 each. So $50 for the two plus shipping. The buyer was $61.20 all in. I paid $2 for these guys, $2. And they sold in less than a week. I picked them up at a yard sale. So I did not comp them when I was there. They were $1 each. They were really cute little prints in barnwood. They did have the name on the back, but again, when I'm at yard sales, if I'm just picking up stuff for cheap, I typically am not going to comp it out. I do recommend if you're newer that I would comp stuff out because all that little stuff does add up. I luckily have a little bit of revenue and backup where I can pick it up, but I knew I could get more than $1 for them. I didn't know I was going to get 25, but that is something that you develop as time goes by. As a picker or a flipper, you will develop your eye for what is going to sell. Some of it even without comps. Like that picture up there is listed over $300 and there are no comps, and I'm pretty confident I will get that for it. Up next, these are some golf clubs. So I got these golf clubs in a online auction lot and I only paid like $1 each. I paid $30 for a bag and golf clubs, and these three sold for $43 plus shipping. The buyer $62.28 all in. Do say thank you to my co-host of my weekly live show, Julian Bearded Thrift Machine, as well as Casey, Carolina Hustler. Both of them do a lot of golf clubs, and for me, when stuff isn't selling, I start looking at other types of stuff. So artwork is one of my new things, also picking up golf clubs when I see them if they are good. And when you buy on online auctions, a lot of time you can get these lots and be $1 or less. And I get tons of stuff for $1 or less. And if you are interested, I do have a sourcing membership. It's $9.99 a month, but I use your zip code, go on the same auction sites that I use, and find you lots of items that can sell for big money, just like what you're seeing in this video. Next is a little cloisonne box. So this box, I paid $5 for it at my little local flea market, and it sold for $50 plus shipping. The buyer was $63.60 all in. It took about 3 months, not super long. I do love cloisonne. If you are not familiar, cloisonne pieces will have enamel paint and they have twisted gold wire in between the paint colors. So they're pretty distinctive. And if you find pieces, once you've found one, your eye will be kind of trained to see those. I know cloisonne jewelry does good as well. So this one was over a $32 to $33 profit in less than 3 months. And it didn't take up a lot of space. It was just a little box. So trinket boxes are another thing that I've sold a lot of them for over $50 in the past year. So once you learn these high dollar items, definitely keep them in the back of your mind. I will tell you, I would not have the numbers I have only doing high profit items. So for me, I would love to find these $50+ items to where I could list 5 to 10 of those a day. However, where I'm at, that is not a reality. I feel like where most people are at, that's not a reality. So in order to reach that 6-figure plus income selling online, what you need to do is have a mix of these high dollar items as well as, you know, little bread and butter items, 10, 15, 20 bucks. And that all adds up. So when none of these high price items are selling, but I have $10, $20 sales, that's a $200 day. And that makes it okay. And then the nice thing is when these little cheap items are not selling, I can sell one $200 item and have the same amount of money. Over the last week, I had 2 days where I only had 3 items go out, but 2 of those days it was one of the higher price, which are going to be later on in this list because they were actually really high price items. So definitely keep it in mind. You sometimes do need to do a mix in order to hit that high dollar income from reselling. And you do need to keep in mind, you need to list regularly. And when these lower priced items are selling, that kind of bumps your other listings up in the search so that you have a better chance of selling the high price. Next, this is a vintage clown painting. So a lot of these black velvet paintings do well. Of course, clowns are going to do well, which clowns are a little bit creepy. But this one sold in under a week for $54.99 plus shipping. The buyer was $74.43 all in. And we'll make over a $45 profit. This clown painting I did get in a buyout. I bought out a garage sale. Actually, she is one of my viewers. So Dini, thank you so much for this. And we're going to see some more items from that buyout that sold for high profit as well. The majority of the items are small, $10, $15, $20 items, but there were some mixed in. So sometimes you buy these giant lots or buyouts and you're just looking for those few needle in the haystack type items. I do want to say, I always forget to say this. Definitely hit that thumbs up for me if you guys are enjoying this video. Leave me a comment down below of an item that you have sold within the last month or so for over $50 that brought a big profit for you. And especially if it was something that you didn't expect to make that profit on, leave a comment down below and share with everybody else, and we can kind of get more knowledge from the community. And also, don't forget to subscribe if you are not subscribed. It does not cost anything to subscribe to the channel. I think about 45% of people that watch me are not subscribed. So hit that subscribe button, turn on the notification bell. That way you are notified when I put out new videos just like this. Next, this is a Belovea watch, and I actually bought this on a Shop Goodwill lot. I do have a video. I will pop it up there for you guys on how I find stuff on Shop Goodwill. I am about $10 into this watch. It sold for $63.74 plus shipping. The buyer was $75.11 all in. And I feel like with a lot of the watches, and you're going to see another watch coming up here soon, name brand, I don't feel like is kind of a bolo. I feel like with watches, I need to individually look them up by the model number, because with a lot of these brands, some are not worth anything and others could be worth up to like $1,000. Next, this is some more from my buyout from Dini. This is Westmoreland milk glass. These are both hobnail pieces. The buyer bought two. It was like an urn and a vase. They were both very, very unique looking. So keep an eye out for those different looking milk glass pieces. These sold for $55 plus shipping. The buyer was $81.76 all in. Again, that buyout less than $1 into each piece, so $2, and I'll make over a $45 profit. And this one took a while to sell. This one did go international. This is a brass doll bed. I only paid, I think, $4.99 for this at my little local thrift store. And it wasn't horrible to pack. I actually did end up taking it apart. It was an 18-inch brass baby doll bed. And it sold for $35 plus shipping. The buyer was $82 all in because it still was oversized, and it did take about 9 months to sell. But I feel like some vintage and antique doll furniture can sell for hundreds into the thousands of dollars. So keep an eye out for that. Next is another lot purchase. This buyer bought 4. These again were from the buyout from Dini, and these were Thomas Cole Voyage of Life lithograph prints. They were all framed, and the buyer paid $15 each. It was a $60 sale plus shipping. She was $89.80 all in. I'm figuring $1 per piece, and this is over a $50 profit. I've been looking a lot into the artwork. Lithographs like bird and nature prints seem to do really well. You can see I've got some big prints back there, and I am watching some that are ending on auction tomorrow as well from the same auction I got that guy from. But artwork can bring a lot of money, and if you can read the signature, and I am not an expert by any means as far as authenticating, that one doesn't even have a signature, so there's no authenticating needed to be done. However, describing your piece accurately and also showing really good photographs of the piece is what will sell it. Next is another watch from that same Shop Goodwill lot. This is a Michael Kors acrylic watch. It actually looked pretty cheap. And it sold for $80 plus shipping. The buyer's $93 all in, so almost $100 and over a $60 profit for us. I did bring all of my high-end watches that I got in that lot, and paying $10 a watch is a lot on Shop Goodwill, at least for me. And I brought them all to my jeweler, had them check them out, add batteries, make sure everything was working. So that was a little additional cost, but all of the watches sold for $60 plus. So I feel like it was worth it. Next, and they actually are, they're not the exact same thing, but they are the same brand. So I will put them on both sides. These are two Louisville drivers. These are the 50 series. Both of these sold for $74.99 each to different buyers. One was $94.81 all in. The other was $103.12 all in. I am only $1 into each of these, guys. These are both over a $65 profit on a golf club. And with golf clubs, you just ship in the triangle tubes. I know Julian Bearded Thrift, maybe he can drop his video down below. He does have a video on photographing, as a video on shipping the golf clubs. So there's a lot of money to be made in golf clubs as well as golf bags. Up next, this is a stinky little doll. Stinky doll. This doll was in storage. I think rats chewed on it. I think they peed on it. It was absolutely disgusting. And I was on the fence. Do I take it out and clean the doll? And I'm thinking, no, it's from 1964. I'm going to leave it in and make sure that the buyer knows. So this actually the second one to sell. The first one, the buyer was extremely pleased with it. And again, I put read in the title. I actually messaged both of these buyers and said, hey, I want to make sure you read about the damage and the odor to these boxes. Do you want me to leave this doll in the box or do you want me to take it out? Both of these buyers opted to leave the dolls in the box. This one said he was some type of archaeologist or something, and he was going to restore the box. So I did pay up for these dolls. I paid about $50 in an online auction. But this one sold for $125 plus shipping. The buyer was $137 all in, and the other one sold for $142. So on this one, I'll make about a $65 profit, and it was damaged. So Beatles stuff, major bolo. If you see Beatles, it is cheap. Pick it up. If you see Beatles stuff and it's marked high, comp it, and you might still want to pick it up because a lot of their stuff sells really, really high. I learned while I was researching this stuff. And again, my online auctions. So the nice thing about the online auctions is you can kind of search at your own leisure, and you can look this stuff up on eBay. You have days to look it up. It's not like you're at a garage sale or a thrift store and you have to make a decision right away. And without the online auctions, I don't feel like I could reach that 100,000 plus mark because most of my high dollar items are coming from online auctions. Up next is Toucan Sam, who used to live there with Betty Boop. I do have my replacement Toucan Sam. This did go in auction to a viewer. I actually got this from Troy Mountain Man Treasures. I think I paid $20 or $30 for him. He did do that good price for me back when I started my YouTube channel a little over a year ago. So Troy, thanks so much for selling me him. And unfortunately, after we moved in here into the new shed, there just wasn't a good space for Sam, so I felt it was time to let him go. He sold to Melissa, to one of my viewers, for $102.50 plus shipping. She was $140 all in, so I'll still make about a $60 profit on that. And I will tell you, the last one that sold, I looked up on WorthPoint, and I do use worthpoint.com a lot, and it is a paid membership. But for these items, like there were no Toucan Sams listed in the last 90 days. There were none sold. Did find one that was listed in January via WorthPoint. It sold for $104. So I feel like this was around the same price that I would have got whether I have my YouTube channel or not. But it was a viewer that did win. So again, Melissa, thank you so much. Up next is a Yadro Dancer. So in my last few Hi What Sold, you have seen Yadro figurines. And I will tell you guys, this dancer had NaO on it, and from the comments on one of my last videos, I learned that NaO means it was made in a factory, so it was kind of more mass produced, and that could lower the value. So I went back and checked and wanted to make sure, and I did put NaO in my title, and this one still sold for $180 plus shipping. The buyer was $219 all in. I did pay up for her. I paid $85, but I still made probably about an $80 profit after fees on her. So keep an eye out for Yadro. You would be surprised some of the little figurines that sell for over $1,000. I think most people that have Yadro are kind of like most people that have Ethan Allen, and they know what they have and they're going to be priced accordingly. But sometimes in these online auctions, you can get really good Yadro pieces. It's still not cheap. You know, I paid $80 for it, but I still made over an $80 profit. Next is going to be a piece of artwork that was in with those guys and that guy. This is a Giovanni Camprio. This one was signed, and this one I paid $38 for. Sold for $185 plus shipping. The buyer was $253 all in. We'll make over $130 profit. My last video, if you missed it, I show me packing it and exactly how I did it, because this is like a 3-foot by 3-foot painting, really big, like that matador up there, and it has been received. It was received safely. That was a very good profit. So I am starting to look at artwork a lot more in auctions. And again, that's the nice thing about these auctions is you have a couple of days to kind of research these. And Giovanni Camprio did have comps on eBay, so I was able to kind of figure out a price. Had it at $225. They offered me $150. I countered at $185 and they accepted. And that sold in less than a week. Less than a week. Really fast. Next, and I think most of you, if you have been in reselling for any length of time, you are going to know these. If you do not, you need to know. So this is a Samsung LG DVD VCR. There was something about being able to zoom and pan on, like when you were recording off the VHS on DVD. Not really sure. All I did was look up the model number. I paid $80 for this, but it sold for $275 plus shipping. The buyer was $325.99 all in, and it sold in less than a week. These new in box are selling for $1,500. If you happen to run into that garage sale that has this DVD VCR they bought and meant to use and never did, pick it up. I would pay up for it. And by pay up, I mean pay up. They're selling for $1,500. There are a lot of models that are not worth anything. So check your models. Don't just go picking up any DVD VCR combo. But there is a lot of money to be made in them, especially if they are new in the box. This one was not new in the box, but it did have the manual. It had the remote. It had the cable. And I made over $175 profit under. Then been having one piece that seems like most of my high sales. Again, there are some more there. There are some behind Betty Boop. This is an Ethan Allen desk. Used to be right there where Dalton's desk is. Now Dalton has his own desk next to mine. I picked that up at a consignment store a couple days ago. So this Ethan Allen desk sold in under a week for $499.99. Full price. Buyer did not make an offer. And I paid $75 for this off of my local Facebook marketplace. So $75 in, sold for $499, close to a $400 profit. The freight was $200, and they were actually in Daytona Beach. So they were only a couple hours from me, and I did debate driving it over there myself. But I actually put it on UShip. My price was accepted the same day. So what you do is you can name your price. I said, okay, I want to pay $175 because there is a $25 UShip fee. My buyer paid $200, so I wanted my buyer to cover that UShip fee. And it was accepted within a day. He came the next day, came in the shed, picked the desk up, delivered it to my buyer the next day. Guys, this desk got to this buyer faster than if I had shipped it priority. It was too big to ship priority. So uship.com is pretty easy to use. I do have a couple of videos on furniture if you would like to check those out. And that wraps us up. So do not forget, I will be live Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And this coming up Saturday is going to be another sourcing live for the sourcing members. So if you have not checked that out, definitely do that. And we will have Toledo Antique and Midwest Seller on, along with special co-host Prison to Profit. Dante will be my co-host. Julian is on vacation for another month. Lucky guy. Said it before, I'll say it again. He is out fishing and hiking, and I've seen beautiful water photos on Instagram. He is hanging out. So I will see you guys on Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I hope you had a great weekend. I am back to work today, so while you're watching this, I am at work after having 9 days off, so I'm probably not the happiest person, but I'll be in the chat with you guys for the premiere. I will see you on the next one. Bye, guys.
Diapers so wet.